Hey guys, happy Sunday to everybody. Look who we have here. We have little Miss Monroe. And you saw the title. I pulled out my very first Reborn. So I'm going to compare. This is so fun. It's hilarious to me. I actually find it quite comical. So I have laying next to Monroe my very first Reborn from 1999 that she's a hideous, only a mother could love her type of thing. I have held on to her because, well, no one would want to buy her anyways, but it's kind of iconic. She was like the first doll that I had purchased that was considered a Reborn at the time, and that's what kind of got me started in collecting. So I've held on to her for 20 years. It's almost 20 years since I've had her. I think I got her in the summer of 1999 because my daughter was quite little. She was a baby still, so very interesting. So we're going to take a look at both of them side by side. But first I wanted to show you what Monroe's wearing. It's still pretty chilly here today. At least it's not snowing or doing anything weird like that. It's just a little brisk, and I think it's going to start to warm up next week, so I'm just going along with the flow here. Hallelujah. We'll get back to some warm weather soon. But she's wearing this beautiful jacquardie knitted romper that has a little frilly, it's like a cream color, I think, neckline to it, and it's like attached. It's all one piece, so she does not have a onesie underneath. Well, she has a sleeveless onesie, but she doesn't have like a collared onesie from Jacquardie. It's all built in. It's very pretty. It's like a dark gray. I love it. I love this color on her. I think that it's such a basic, beautiful, simple, but pretty. And then she's got some cream colored knee-high socks from Pretty Originals, and then she's got her little Cry & Company black T-strap baby shoes. So she's looking oh so precious. She says, hello, aunties. And now I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see. This is my first Reborn. And you'll see she's got some discoloration on her nose. I think that's from storage, actually. I don't think it's from the vinyl, actually. I think it's just from storage. But let's look at them side by side. She's a big doll. Like, she was made very large. If you see the length of her, she's like 20-something inches. She's like the size of a 3-month-old, I think. Because Monroe's a good, solid, big newborn size, but she also has curled legs, so if her legs were longer, they'd still not be close to that. But look at the difference. So, 1999. So, this dolly here has a glued wig. So, that's what they did. What was considered a, I'm going to do quotations, Reborn, back in 1999 was they took a Behringer baby. I believe this is a Behringer baby with the limbs, which are only this much of limbs, so it's like a quarter. Same on this side. And they took the doll, and same with its legs. That's how much of the vinyl they had back then. So they took this doll, they glued a wig on, because you can see the painted hair. See, this is from, I think those marks are just from like storage. I've not stored her the best, but it is what it is. She's moved many times. It's 20 years old. This doll is 20 years old. So considering, I mean, hey. So they glued on a wig. That's what they did, is they glued a wig. I think the doll's eyes are original, that what they came with. So even though they're probably cheap eyes, they've lasted over the years. And I always keep like a hat on her because that hair. And I think they just blush. Put a little blush on the cheeks. They put tips. Let's look at her little hands. They tip the fingernails. It's hilarious. Oh, she's got some rub marks there too. Some dark spots. And tip the toenails. So, I mean, considering this doll is 20 years old and I haven't done anything to really preserve her, she's lasted a really long time. She's been tossed around in boxes and things. Like, I've not kept her in like a good, safe place. She sits up in my daughter's closet, actually, on top of other boxed manufactured dolls. And when I say manufactured, they're, I don't even remember what brand they are, but they're really cute, and I just don't display them. They're just in their boxes safely. But this doll just kind of sits on top of them. So she's not protected in any way, and what she has for waiting is she literally has a sack full of flour. She's like rock hard. Hear it? She has a diaper on, of course, but it's literally like a 5-pound sack of flour is her middle. as her waiting. She has like no weight in her head. Well, she's got a little weight in her head. I don't know what's in it because I've never taken her apart. She's got stuffed arms and legs, but there's no weight to them. It's literally here and a little bit of weight in her head. So that is what a 1999 Reborn looks like, you guys. It just makes me chuckle because seeing like, okay, Monroe looks like a baby laying next to a doll to me. Monroe looks just like a living baby looking at me like, why do you have this thing laying next to me? I am thoroughly offended. Hi, baby. But look how cool it is to see the difference of 20 years. That's a lot of progress, guys. It's very, very, very cool just to kind of be able to see them side by side. Like, I know a lot of collectors keep their very first Reborn, but I don't know if many from back when I started collecting still have them. I would love to see them if they do, because there were some pretty hideous situations back then. Like when I got her, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it would be, because, you know, the wig itself was horrible, but I was so intrigued, and that's what kind of sparked my interest to want to continue to collect and find lifelike looking dolls, you know, because I've always collected like porcelain dolls my whole life. Porcelain dolls, Cabbage Patch dolls, like you name it, any of those popular dolls when I was growing up, I collected. Because I'm a dolly person. I collected handmade cloth dolls that my grandmother used to go. We used to go to our local county fair, and there were certain people that were there that would make these full from head to toe cloth dolls, and she would buy me one every summer. I was in love with these dolls, and they had like hand painted eyes, and they were really very, like, to me at the time, they were like so realistic, you know? So as far back as I can remember, like, I've always been on the hunt for a realistic baby doll. Like, that's just been, I feel like it's been like a whole life journey for me, if that makes sense. It's kind of interesting when I look back at how many different types of dolls I've collected over the years. It's astounding to me. Wow, have we evolved, you guys. It's just so cool. So yeah, so I know a lot of people were curious to see what an original, and this is very early, like maybe they had been making quote unquote Reborns for maybe a year or two prior to me getting this doll. Maybe even, I don't know if it goes back any further than that, to be honest, because I wasn't around, and the internet was, finding dolls on the internet was like new. Like being on the internet was new at that time. If you, like, some of you probably can think back to 1999 and just getting a computer and knowing how to surf the internet and having dial-up, you know, all of that to get to the internet, like, brings back memories, guys. And I came across this doll, and I believe it was on eBay. And then it became more and more popular, and more came up, and more artists started coming out and being able to really paint instead of just blush and start rooting. And like for a long time, it was glued on wigs, but they were better quality, like mohair. That was the next step. So this is like kind of that plasticky, fakey looking hair. And then they evolved to glued on really well done mohair wigs that felt more realistic. And then they went on to, people started rooting, and then rooting got better and better. And voila. And we move into silicone, and like it's just amazing to me. I love seeing just the evolution. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing beginning of collecting to current. Isn't that interesting? I love it. And I love my Monroe. Like, she literally looks like a living baby that I've laid out on a blanket next to a dolly. So yeah, so there is my very first Reborn. So funny. And of course, my very, very precious Monroe, who Mommy loves her so, so much. She says, yeah, whatever. So yeah, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of requests, actually, because I've mentioned it before and I never got around. I did it once before, but it was like 3 years ago, I think, that I did this. Comparing this doll to a Romy doll. And now to a beautiful Claire Taylor silicone baby. So there they are. That's our Sunday fun day. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Hopefully your weather is nice and warm and sunshiny. You can send it our way, please and thank you. And that's pretty much it. we're just hanging out, doing my Sunday stuff, my chores, my cleaning. I just want to take a break and be able to do this real quick for you guys. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and we will see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.